girls celebrating the news that she was found safe. Now the focus is shifting to a man that police arrested after he was found with the girl. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. HPD says she was found in...
Hi everybody, welcome to Life with Anita Morning Show. And I just want to say shout out to the Houston Police Department. Shout out to everybody that went to the extent they needed to find this girl. She was only 12 years old. She had been missing now, and she was found safe, thank God, and a man was arrested for being with her. I remember seeing this story days ago, and it took so long for an Amber Alert to be issued for her, and she had already been missing for quite some time. Me being a mother, it is so important that we take the time to make sure that we are advocating and that we are protecting our children at all costs. The family had reported her missing. Why it took so long for Amber Alert to be put out, I have no clue. But that also, for me, is a issue because you have things where had they issued the Amber Alert sooner, they probably would have found her sooner. And thankfully they found her alive and she's okay. She's well. The person that she was found with, as you were listening when I started my show, the news was reporting about him. So I'm going to let you guys hear a little bit more about the person who was arrested and some other things. And then I'll get more into conversation about it.
Columbus, Texas, which is roughly an hour and a half away from where she was last seen. KPRC2's Rowan Belogan is live in Missouri City where the family awaits her return. Rowan.
Now, Kate, Daniela, first we want to share exactly how we are covering this moving forward. Out of an abundance of caution, we are no longer identifying the 12-year-old or using her image as we learn more about the investigation and the arrest of a 27-year-old man. 27-year-old Serterion Preston arrested in Columbus. The police department sharing on Facebook he was found with the missing 12-year-old girl who triggered an Amber Alert this week. The sixth grader's family celebrating she was found safe. As the investigation continues, Jacqueline.
Now, here is where this is why I say you don't know who people are and what they are capable of. Now, this girl is 12 years old. The person she was found with is 27. Now, it's not her relative. It's not anybody that should have been around her. He's 27 years old. He's an adult man. So explain to me why he would be taking a 12-year-old girl, right, away from her home to a whole nother city. And I think people need to really understand just how serious this is, right? Because you have adults that are out here taking children to places to do God knows what, with the intention to do God knows what. And it's just a cruel world that we live in. So what I will say is this. I don't approve of things like this. I have a very big dislike for people who go and prey on children, who are after children, who have any kind of interest in children, and they are an adult. To me, that is extremely disheartening. It's very sickening to me, and that's my opinion and what I feel. I don't believe that there's anything that this adult man who's 27 years old could say to make me feel like it was okay for him taking a 12-year-old, a sixth grader. You have to look at the big age gap here, right? 12, 27. Nothing even remotely close of an excuse could come to why he was even with this girl. And to have her family searching for her for 8 days. Do you know what that's like? Me being a mother, I could not imagine my child missing, and I have to sit at home wondering if I'm going to find them alive or not alive, okay? I have went to parks with my kids, okay? And if my kid goes to some part of the park and I don't see my kid for more than 3 minutes, I'm that parent that's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, hey, I'm calling my child's name. I'm trying to find them ASAP, right? Because I don't like losing sight of my children. So it's just such a critical time, I will say, because you have so many stories like this where you have these adult people, and this was not even like a custody situation, none of this. This was just a man who, I believe, from what I'm hearing in the stories, what I'm seeing, he had ill intentions for this 12-year-old girl. Thank God they found her in time. But I hope that the justice system does not fail this situation. That they understand it is wrong for anybody to prey on children, for anybody to have ill intent on a child. It is such a horrific thing. And a lot of times people don't want to have that discussion because everybody's so touchy these days. And everybody just, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about that. No, call it what it is. The police, when they issued the Amber Alert, the family specifically said she may be a victim of human trafficking. Human trafficking is something that's so serious. I don't think people understand that. Coming from the state that I used to live in, that was very big there, and it was so unfortunate, and that's why I ended up running for city council to try to create an organization to help with human trafficking, to stop it, and to bring some kind of, middle ground to be like, hey, let's save our kids and save these people who are going through human trafficking, because that's such a terrifying situation to be in. I will share a story with you guys of how I almost went through that when I was younger. So I was a teenager, and I was like a straight A student. I was always doing the right thing, right? And one day, my friend was like, hey, let's go over to my friend's house. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, let's go over to your friend's house. Cool. I'm like, she's like, oh, but it's a guy, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm like, well, does he go to school with us? She's like, no, he goes somewhere else, right? So I'm like, okay, I guess he goes to another school. I'm a teenager. I'm younger. I'm not thinking right all the way I should be. I'm just like, hey, this is my friend. We go to school together. She can't be leading me down anything wrong. So we go to this house, and we go in the house. And she's like, oh, this is my friend. Now, when I see the man, he's extremely older than us, right? So I freak out immediately. I'm like, I gotta go home. She's like, wait a minute. She's like, I just want you to meet him and you talk to him and stuff. And then he just starts like oddly staring me down, right? And now my parents taught me a lot about stranger danger, so I knew something was off. And I ended up leaving the house that she took me to with this guy that she knew, right? And I'm like, well, why is my friend, who's a teenager like me, why does she know this much older man that she's calling her friend? And literally about a month later, he ended up on the news for human trafficking. He had been taking girls who were in our city that we lived in at the time, that we grew up in. He had been taking these girls to different states, prostituting them out. And my friend actually was one of the girls that he was doing that to, but she didn't want to tell me. So when I was looking back at that, and I was telling my parents what happened and how I had met him and how I went to the house, and my parents were like, oh my God, but my parents were like, I kind of knew you knew what to do and how to get out of that, because something just didn't feel right. It just didn't sit right the way that he was and how much older than us he was. And I didn't know that she was so afraid to tell me what was going on that she just said, my friend, and I think that it's so important that we have communication with our children, or that we allow children a space to feel like they are able to tell us anything that's going on. because a lot of times things will be going on with kids. They don't want to talk about it. And, you know, I have always had an open conversation relationship with my children. My children know I don't care what it is. I don't care what's going on. Talk to me. Even if you feel like, hey, it's gonna make mom mad, listen. Tell me what you gotta tell me, because what you need to tell me, I may be able to assist you or steer you from doing something that maybe you're not sure about. You're not sure what's going on, what that is yet. So if you talk to me as your mother, I can help you. So, I will just say, as I get ready to end my morning show this morning, protect our children. And I hope that they will serve justice properly for this man that took this 12-year-old girl in Houston, Texas. Because, God forbid, if she had not been found, what could have happened to her? So I am thankful that she has been found. I pray for her healing and her peace. I pray that she does not have to remember this situation at all. And I really just hope that stories like this do not keep happening to our children, because our children are truly innocent. They are amazing. They don't deserve to go through things like this. And I will touch on some other things as well in other episodes that I plan to do in the future regarding protecting our children and the importance of protecting our children and the importance of hopefully stopping situations from this occurring. So thank you guys for tuning in to Life with Anita morning show. And I will be back with another episode
and digital
later.
Devices are being tracked so that you understand the content and the people that they're talking to. And then I would sit down and I would have a really serious conversation with them.
She recommends Bark, which monitors the content kids are seeing. The prices range from $6 a month to $40. You can use it on Apple and Android devices. A free option is Life 360, which tracks each family member's devices and allows parents to retrace where their child has visited.
All of those apps are very important because they're going to notify you of what your child is doing. I like the phone where there's no internet, because then your child can always be in contact with you, but they're not getting targeted by algorithms. They can't go on social media.
Now, Jacqueline also recommends families coming up with a safe word or even an emoji to use in a group conversation or text message, alerting everyone that someone needs the other person's help. And Columbus police sharing with us that the 12-year-old was taken to Children's Texas Hospital, where she is being evaluated. Live in Missouri City, Roman Belogan, KPRC 2 News.
All right, guys, and that is my episode this morning. Once again, I want to say great job on locating this 12-year-old girl who was missing for 8 days in Texas. I'm glad that she was found safe. I am praying for her healing and just her peace, and for her to be able to remain, to enjoy her childhood, to be able to just live a lovely childhood and to be happy. So thank you guys for tuning into Life with Anita. I will be back later on with another episode. I'll be back with my night show tonight, and then I'll talk to you guys about some other things. So thank you guys for tuning into the morning show. Have a great day.